The boots on my porch didn't belong to delivery men. They belonged to uniforms. 4 officers, hands resting on holsters, eyes fixed on me like I'd already confessed. Behind them, she stood, my wife, hair perfectly arranged, face pale but framed with just enough trembling to sell the image. Tears balanced on her lashes like she'd rehearsed the scene in the mirror. "Sir, you're under arrest for the murder of Frank Delaney," the lead said. Her father. A year undercover, drug corridors, bribes, guns pressed to my ribs, and this was my welcome home? I looked past the badges to her. She didn't flinch. Then my son stepped forward from the hallway shadows. 17 now, voice deeper than when I left. "He told me he did it," he said. My pulse stayed steady. I'd learned long ago that showing surprise was giving ground. So I let them cuff me. I let them lead me away. I didn't even look back when she rested her hand on his shoulder like she'd just secured him a place in a better family. In the holding cell, the noise of the station blurred. My focus stayed on her face in my mind. Too calm, too precise. She'd always been good at playing both sides. The dutiful wife to me, the loyal daughter to him. And yet, there was something new. The way her tears had fallen exactly on cue. When the prosecutor slid the file across the table, I read the script they'd written for me. Time of death, witness statement, financial motive. They'd even included my so-called confession to my son, 3 lines of his handwriting, each word a blade. But there was a detail they didn't know I'd see immediately. The date of death. It was the same week I'd been buried deep in a different identity, under federal orders, miles away from home. I had airtight alibis, if I chose to use them. But airtight wouldn't be enough. Not for me. She'd made her move. That meant she thought I was a man who would defend himself, clear his name, come home to her. She didn't understand. I wasn't coming home. I played along in court, silent, watching, letting their confidence grow. Every recess I scanned the small gestures, the way she whispered to her lawyer, the way my son avoided my gaze. He'd been coached, not just in words, in loyalty. 2 nights in, I made my first quiet call to an old contact in counterintelligence. I didn't ask for favors. I asked for patterns. Her phone records, bank statements, travel history for the last 12 months. By the 3rd day, I had enough to start building the picture. Offshore accounts, a transfer labeled consulting from a name I recognized. Not from the police world, but from my undercover work. Frank Delaney had been laundering money for the same syndicate I'd been dismantling. And she'd been helping him, right up until the week he died. No body had ever been recovered, just her word, and enough fabricated evidence to keep the DA happy. Which meant 2 things. She wasn't just framing me, she was cleaning up her father's mess and making me the mop. On the 6th day, a manila envelope slid across the table from my contact. Inside, surveillance photos. Her, meeting with the syndicate's second-in-command. Her, handing over the same watch her father always wore. Her, signing papers that transferred property titles into her name the day after his death. I requested a private meeting with the judge. No lawyers, no press. When the guards left, I placed the sealed envelope on the desk between us. "Read the first page," I said. He did. His jaw tightened. "Nobody leaves," he told the bailiff. Within minutes, armed military police entered the room. Not local, not state, federal jurisdiction. They didn't look at me, they went straight to her. The sound of her chair scraping across the floor was the only noise in the courtroom. Her lawyer froze as they cuffed her. My son's face cracked into confusion as she shouted his name, swearing I'd forged everything. I said nothing. When they escorted her past me, she stopped struggling just long enough to meet my eyes. "What did you do?" she whispered. I leaned slightly forward. Exactly what you thought I wouldn't. No raised voice, no satisfaction in my tone. The destruction wasn't in the evidence, it was in the realization. The moment she knew I'd seen through every layer of her play months before I came home. Because the truth was, I'd been tracking her long before Frank Delaney's heart supposedly stopped. And I'd already found the syndicate's leash around her neck. I'd just waited. Let her frame me. Let her step onto the exact stage she'd built for my execution. And then I'd turn the lights on. They released me without a word. Outside the courthouse, the air felt colder than I remembered. Quieter, too. My son didn't come after me. He stayed inside with the officers. That was fine. He'd made his choice when he took the stand. I didn't look back at the building. Frank Delaney was probably still alive somewhere, hiding behind another name. She'd join him in the federal system soon enough, or in a grave with the rest of them. Either way, she wouldn't be at my door again. People think revenge is fire. It isn't. It's ice. And ice doesn't melt just because the game is over.